So what's for dinner tonight, Puff Mama? Chili?
I'm confused. All right, welcome back to another School Principal Reacts. My name is Brandon, and I'm a school principal from the U.S. state of Georgia. Doing another episode of SpongeBob today. This is one that you all have recommended quite a bit. I do keep track of which episodes and which things get recommended the most and try to stick to that. Thank you for those recommendations. This is one called Doing Time. It's so funny. I have, in the course of reacting to these episodes, seen Mrs. Puff go to jail quite a few times just in the few episodes that I've seen. And now it seems like she's in jail, and this is somehow about that. I don't know anything else about it, have not seen it before, but I know you all have recommended it several times. So I'm going to take a look at it today, and we'll kind of see what we think together. Let's get right into it. Just a reminder, if you're enjoying this content, I would ask that you subscribe to my channel. Thank you. All right, here we go.
Turn that way, turn that way, right.
Yeah, and this is like every episode I've seen where SpongeBob is running amok in the boating school trying to do his exam, and he just like destroys everything. And then sometimes Mrs. Puff has gone to jail, so I'm guessing it happens again, and this is spotlighting her in jail. I'm not real sure here, but let's see.
Come on, don't have to yet. Come on. I'm ready. I can do this, Miss Puff. I can do it.
The driving test is over, SpongeBob. Stop the boat.
Wait, I can do this, Mrs. Puff. I can do this.
Oh! The road, SpongeBob. Get back on the road.
Gotta pass the test. Gotta pass.
Hey, what do you got to...
And this is a pattern I've seen many times in these episodes. He just, he just can't do the test, which is kind of sad. I feel bad for SpongeBob because he is so dedicated. We've seen that. I've seen he is so honest and seems to have integrity, and he likes Mrs. Puff and wants her to think well of him. And he aces the oral exam every time, the knowledge exam. And so he just can't seem to get the actual practical driving test down.
Against the melons.
Look out! This must be the night driving part of the test.
We're going to straighten you out.
This'll fix you.
Okay. I know they did that on purpose, but it looked like they were beating a person. No, they were beating a parking meter.
Now let's get that one.
Barnacles, did you see that?
Yeah, that guy had no front license plate. Let's get him.
Hey, look at those police. I wonder if the president's in town.
Look out!
It is with great pride that I officially open this unfinished bridge.
That's pretty funny. So a number of things there. The police chase after him, but it's because he had a missing front license plate. Yeah, I think there's bigger problems than that. And then you've got this guy opening, if you don't know what a ribbon cutting is, these politicians and bigwigs will have a ribbon cutting whenever a big long-term project is completed. Typically it's a new building or some type of facility, but it's funny here because he says it's an unfinished bridge. Of course, you would do that for finished projects, but it's an unfinished bridge, and they just launch right off of it into who knows where they're going here. Didn't quite make it.
Where did I go wrong? With the opening of my new boating school, I pledge that as long as a student is willing to learn, I shall never give up.
And here comes SpongeBob. This is interesting. So she's flashing back, I guess, or remembering her opening the boating school. And, in general, Mrs. Puff seems like, she wants to do the right thing and wants to do the right thing for students. It's just SpongeBob has driven her to, pun there, but SpongeBob has driven her to madness or just not wanting to teach him anymore. And, you know, if he's out there crashing boats and things, I don't know why they gave him a second try after he crashed during a driving test. I don't know. I'm sure that's happened somewhere or another. She pledges, you know, I'm going to do, she's basically saying, I'm going to do such a great job and I'll never give up on a student. And I haven't seen her give up on SpongeBob. I mean, he keeps coming back and he's allowed to be in the class, but she doesn't really like it by the end. She's had enough, but he is still there. So I guess technically she hasn't given up on him, I suppose.
Hi, I'm SpongeBob SquarePants. Hurry up with that truckload of fruit punch! The seniors are getting cranky!
Alive! I'm alive! Oh, thank Neptune, I'm still.
Oh.
All right, seniors, let's open these windows so the world can see your nice white clothes.
Oh, it's finally finished. A memoir of my life written in red ink.
It's like, how many different things can SpongeBob ruin from this incident of crashing off of a bridge into a fruit punch truck for these senior citizens? It's kind of funny.
Oh, barnacles.
Oh, SpongeBob, are you?
And my question is, how does she end up going to jail? Is it because she allowed him to continue taking the driving test? I've seen a couple of times where she is kind of held responsible for him or for allowing him to do certain things. So I'm curious to see how that translates to her going to jail somehow.
You okay?
That depends. Did I pass? Freeze! You're under arrest!
Hold it! You can't arrest him. He's just a student driver.
We're not talking about him!
Uh-oh. Yep, there it is. So she got arrested for, I guess, allowing him to do the driving test. I'm not sure how that works. And it's so funny. Even after all that mayhem, he's like, did I pass? That's kind of funny.
But I don't belong here. It's all a big mistake.
Yeah, I don't belong here either. Me too. I'm innocent. I belong here.
That one says, I belong here. Yeah, and I don't know if that's true. You know, I don't have an experience with jail, but, you know, everybody's saying, you know, they're there because of some sort of mistake. I don't know. Maybe that's true.
Okay, you can do this, Puff. You can get through this without losing your sanity. Oh, that's a road we don't want to go down again. Positives. Think of the positives. Let's see. I've got no more papers to grade. Yeah. In fact, no more work, no more boating school classes, no more driving, no more SpongeBob.
I knew she was going to get to that. So she starts naming all these positive things about being where she is. And, you know, you have to do that sometimes. If I'm doing something I don't particularly like and I say, you know, what are the positives or, you know, what are the benefits? It's good to take sort of a mental check every once in a while. And she starts naming all these things, papers to grade. Yeah, teachers do have to grade a lot of assignments and various other things. And then she says, no more SpongeBob. And I was waiting for that. I knew that would be kind of the be all end all of, you know, her one positive thing for being in jail is she didn't have to deal with SpongeBob.
No more phone solicitors, no more SpongeBob, no more company potlucks, no more SpongeBob, no more road rage, no more SpongeBob, no more insurance payments, no more SpongeBob, no more SpongeBob, no more SpongeBob, no more SpongeBob!
Yeah, you can tell that's the highlight here.
I think I'm going to like this place.
Jail.
Class just isn't the same without Mrs. Puff.
Yeah, I'm like, now what? And look at this, the cobwebs and it's just all messed up. It's kind of funny. I've seen other episodes where they had like a replacement teacher or one where she even taught from her cell. I'm curious to see what's going to happen here with the boating school.
Just the thought of her alone and afraid in jail makes me think about her being alone and afraid in jail. I don't know how she's going to survive.
And she really likes it.
Smelling the pretty roses. Happiness is just two kinds of ice cream.
Oh, that poor...
And she really enjoys jail. Not that she enjoys it on its own, but just the sheer fact that she doesn't have to deal with SpongeBob. That kind of tells you what she thinks about him. And many of you have commented, when I first started watching these, no, Mrs. Puff really doesn't like SpongeBob at all. So I can't wait to see where this goes.
Poor woman, and it's all my fault. Maybe if I go talk to Patrick, he can ease my guilt.
Well, it sounds like it's all your fault.
He's like, maybe if I talk to Patrick, looking for some support there, and he says, sounds like it's all your fault, which, it kind of is. I mean, short of her maybe not allowing him to do the boating test anymore, yeah, it kind of is, isn't it?
Oh, you're right. Mrs. Puff's in jail, and it's all because of me. I know. I gotta get her out. But to get her out of jail, first we gotta get in jail.
Oh, no. Oh, no. So the reason she's okay in jail is because she doesn't have to deal with SpongeBob. But if SpongeBob gets sent to jail, she now has to deal with him. And it's probably the worst thing ever. She's in jail and has to deal with SpongeBob. I can see this is going nowhere good.
We're going to do that.
All right. Put the money in
Bank robbery?
the bag. Put it in.
You're facing the wrong way, sir.
All right. Give me the money.
Will that be from your savings or your checking account, sir?
Savings.
May I please see some identification?
Sure. There you go.
Thank you. Sir, we are showing a balance of $0.00 for both of your accounts.
Oh.
Next.
That was better than...
He didn't quite rob the bank. He asked for money, and he didn't have any money in his account, so they just left, I guess. That's kind of funny.
Expected?
Yeah, I didn't think we'd get Mrs. Buff out of jail this fast.
Don't worry, Patrick. We'll get into jail this time.
Hey, there's a couple.
So now they're trying to sneak into jail, not being sent to jail for committing a crime here. Let's see how this works out.
Put your back in it, girls!
Look, Patrick, there she is.
Oh, they made it.
Mrs. Puff, wait. It's us, SpongeBob and Patrick.
That's funny. For a second, I
She thinks she's losing it. But they finally got in.
thought that yellow rock talked to me, and its voice sounded a lot like...
SpongeBob, it's me, SpongeBob. We're gonna bust you out of here. Come on, Mrs. Puff.
It's you. What are you doing here? Why did you follow me in here? Why?
All right, Mrs. Puff. It looks like this heat's gone to your head. If you're gonna talk to rocks, I guess it's time for you to go on kitchen duty.
Yes! It must be the heat. Yes.
Darn it. Okay, Patrick, let's get out of here. No way!
Oh.
There goes our deposit on these costumes.
There you are.
Hey there, Puff Mama. What's today's grub?
Hi, Donna. It's chilly, same as always. Let me get you some.
Mrs. Puff, it's me, SpongeBob.
When are these horrific hallucinations going to end?
No, it's really me. I brought Patrick along, too.
Why?
'Cause we're gonna set you free.
No, I mean, why'd you bring him?
He likes chili. Now quick,
That's
get in
gross.
before someone sees.
SpongeBob, I am not going with you.
Ah, that's a good one, Mrs. Puff. Now hop in, come on.
SpongeBob, I think she means it.
Oh, that's crazy, Patrick.
He's right, SpongeBob. I'm staying.
But why?
I like it here.
Mm.
These are my people.
Yeah.
And besides, if I'm in here, that means I won't have to deal with you.
I was waiting for it. So she always kind of makes comments like that. but she makes them in a way that SpongeBob doesn't really hear it or doesn't know about it. And now that was pretty direct. I don't have to deal with you. And look at his eyes, and he's, clearly going to be upset by that. You would never say that to a student, even if it's true. You don't say that to a student. I've seen some teachers make some mistakes with that, but ideally you wouldn't think that at all. And if you do, you certainly don't say it. You just do what you need to do for that student, serve them, help them to do their best, and move on from there.
Uranium in the water supply.
Okay, so she covered for it by changing it to something else. I was wondering how that was going to end.
See? Crystal clear.
Yeah.
Excuse us
Nice
just
save.
1 second, Mrs. Puff. Patrick, she has lost it. She's completely institutionalized. She's forgotten what it's like to live on the outside, to not be in prison.
Coming to bed, honey?
Yes, dear.
We've got to remind
Saying all those things are prison: work, traffic, and relationships. That's kind of funny.
her that there is a life other than this. Mrs. Puff, if you come with us, I'll stay after school and decorate the whole classroom.
For the last time, no! I'm not going with you! That's final! Oh.
Talking to inanimate objects again, huh, Puff?
Uh-oh.
Get back to your cell. No more kitchen time for you.
Quick, Mrs. Puff, hop on.
Guards! Guards, come quick! There's a crazed ex-student of mine and his overweight friend here to break me out!
That's just raw material used to make coat hangers.
Mhm.
You need some rest.
Oh!
Hop in, Mrs. Puff.
Guards! Guards, come look!
Whoa. They don't pay me enough to do this job.
Just flushes them.
Mrs. Puff, up here.
Guards! Guards! They're back!
What's all the hubbub, Puff?
They're back!
Mrs. Puff, it's up.
That's pretty funny. Yeah, and I'm like, if they keep seeing them, like, how come they just allow them to stay and don't freak out? I'm no expert, but I think it get a normal gel, that would be a big problem.
What the barnacle is going on?
Get away from me! Get away!
What are you talking about, Puff?
You can't fool me! You're SpongeBob and that guy who likes the chili.
Oh,
Let's face it, Puff. You've gone off the deep end.
that's pretty gross. Now I guess she's getting some sort of change here.
Get in there, you! You need a nice long stay in solitary confinement!
Oh, well.
And I'm no expert on this subject, but mental health is a very important issue. You would never, this would never happen, obviously, but they're poking fun at, she's going nuts because SpongeBob and Patrick keep messing with her. And the one thing she wants more than anything is to be away from SpongeBob. And now she's in jail and having them come try and bust her out. But it's kind of some sort of tormenting experience. But yeah, obviously this would never happen, but they're doing it for some laughs here.
Let's look at the positives again. I'm finally away from those two. Yes.
And that's all she cares about, as long as she's away from them. And, if a teacher is having that degree of problem with a student where she's basing her whole life's happiness on being away from a certain person, I would question your choices. So at that point, I would just move on and do something else. Not everybody is cut out to be a teacher. That's very clear. I have seen teachers before that have gotten to a certain point of having, stress or anxiety or whatever about their job. And I simply say to them, I have said this, it seems like you're not really enjoying yourself. Is this really something that you want to be doing? And I'm thinking in my head, yeah, and the students aren't really benefiting so much, are they, if you have this sort of attitude? And a lot of times I've just sort of helped them see that. And some of those times they have moved on to other things. I think they're happier for it.
Alone in my nice soft room.
Made of sponge.
Oh no. Oh no. He encompasses the entire room. Oh man. This in some ways this one is kind of dark, but I know they're still trying to be somewhat lighthearted. But she's in there and SpongeBob is all around her, and that's the one thing she wants is to be away from him. This is probably going nowhere good. We'll see. That's crazy. Okay. Thank goodness it's a dream or some sort of flashback, or not a flashback, but it's not real. That's probably for the best.
I can pass the test, Mrs. Puff. I can pass the test.
All right, here we go again.
Oh,
Freeze! Your joyride's over, punk.
no! What?
No, what are you doing? Help!
Oh,
No,
okay.
No, please! No, I have a snail to feed. I can't go to jail now. This is not a good time. No, please, I'm not a criminal.
I can't believe it.
Now what's she gonna do? She's probably happy now that he went to jail and not her.
It was all a dream. I'm not going to jail.
Why would you go to jail? You already did your time.
No. Okay, what? I'm getting confused here. So it was like a dream within a dream, something like that. Let's see if this is going to be real or not. Oh, okay.
It's just my imagination again.
So what's for dinner tonight, Puff Mama? Chili?
I'm confused. I'm confused here. So it's like 3 or 4. It's one of those things where, you think you wake up, but you don't, and you're still asleep, and then you wake up again, but you're still dreaming, and one of those kind of things. It's kind of crazy. All right, is this real or is it not? Let's see.
Forget it.
It's just like this. And that's where the episode ends, really abruptly like that. I thought there was going to be more to it, but that one was kind of zany. Doing time. Thank you for that recommendation. This one, not as much about school, but it does sort of bring up her attitude of just wanting to be away from SpongeBob no matter what. I'll be honest, I have seen teachers have, not quite to this extent, but they don't like a particular student for whatever reason, or they become annoyed at their various behaviors, and that does happen. But you as the teacher have to remain the professional and say, you know what, I'm going to serve this student no matter what. And it doesn't mean you don't deal with the behaviors or whatever it is the student does. Now, in this case, SpongeBob behaves himself perfectly normally in class. It's just that when they go out for the boating test, he just causes total chaos and makes her life miserable while he's out there doing the practical boating exam. And my question would be, why is he allowed to do it over and over and over again? And he like destroys half the city when he does it. But in the actual classroom, he's like the model student. So I don't know. But I do tell teachers, like I mentioned before, if you are really bothered by this student that much and you're letting it get to you to that degree, let's take some time and discuss, are you happy doing this? And if it's just this one student, let's talk about what we can do and some strategies of dealing with that and not having this type of attitude. But I'm going to leave the episode there. I hope you enjoyed it. I did. This one was really zany. It was called Doing Time. I appreciate the recommendations. I do tend to do content based on your recommendations, so keep them coming. But this has been School Principal Reacts. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and thanks for watching.